Holy cow, it's a busy day today at High Caliber. We are here with the most awesome Dr. Lindsay from San Luis Rey Equine Hospital, who's working on Finn over there for right now. But Sickney and Robin and Johanna have three of our melanoma horses who were just seen by Dr. Lindsay. We don't have the greatest of news, but it's not horrible news. So on the far left is Valentina, and in the center is Anastacia, and on the far right is Casper. And unfortunately the two girls have pretty progressed melanomas that are up along the jawline and along the jugular area, and so that makes it pretty difficult to do much for them without general anesthesia. General anesthesia is, you know, harder on the horses, but it's also a lot more expensive, and it's just not something that's in our budget. It can run a couple $1,000s per horse, and there is no guarantee that we're going to get it all, or that they're going to go on to live a long life, you know, or that there's not more brewing inside. So it's just kind of a bit of a band-aid, and it's not within our budget or within our resources for the two ladies on the left. So that kind of sucks. So what we are looking for is one last good home for the two girls, and we don't have a time limit on them. That's the freedom that we have, you know, with this, is that we don't know how quickly it's going to progress. We know there's a lot of people out there that say turmeric is an awesome tool to slowing down the growth, and we would love to find some homes who'd be willing to adopt these girls and give them one last soft landing so that they can have a home and be adopted. Anastacia in the center does have a collapsed globe in that right eye, and so it's hard looking through the lens and then looking up at them. And so she does need somebody who is a little savvy with vision impaired horses, because she can appear to be kind of rude because she's turning her body towards to get onto her good eye to see things. So she'll kind of like push over you to see, but she's really not a rude horse at all. She's very tender and sensitive, and just really a ginger little thing. And then Valentina is the next Charo horse. She came in emaciated. We'll put in her before pictures in the comments. She is rideable, so you could ride her. There's no reason why you couldn't. She does enjoy being ridden when it's somebody that she's not worried is going to spur the shit out of her. And then Casper over here on the far right is the only little monkey that's lucky that we could probably do some standing removals. So I covered most of the details for you. We are going to fundraise for Casper. He is slightly vision impaired in the peripheral, but we do believe you know, that he's still able to be a good little working horse with the right hands, and we're going to try for him. So we are going to fundraise. If you'd like to donate towards his care, you can do so at Secret Fund at highcaliber.org. Secret Fund was named after our little foal, which was our first clinical case, and unfortunately she passed away, but her legacy lives on through our fundraising. So like I said, I covered the basics. I'm just going to let Dr. Lindsay jump in really quick and fill in anything that I left out, and I'll let the horses be your background. You can just jump in.
Yeah, if you want, we can walk over to them real quick too, and I can just show them. So Valentina, her main, the most worrisome mass is here underneath her jaw. It's a little bigger than it's about this big, so at least the size of grapefruit. I mean, ideally you'd biopsy that too and make sure that it's for sure melanoma, but it most likely is, since she has a lot of other ones on her and around her tail too. So like Michelle said, you don't have a time limit for them, but it is you know, pretty far progressed with her, and general anesthesia is probably the best option to remove those.
And if somebody who does adopt her wants to put the money into her treatment, feel free. That's always an option. It's just not within our budget. We're not able to do so, considering, you know, that it's not a guarantee or, you know, gonna solve the problem.
Yeah, and with her, she's got a bunch of them under her tail too and around her anus, which may cause her some trouble if they continue to get larger, at least with passing manure. So you could always remove those standing too, and if you didn't have an option to go under general anesthesia, you could try and take care of those ones standing and at least prolong her life and give her a better shot of living longer. Anastacia, her big mass that she's got is most likely a melanoma also, and it's just along the jugular furrow here, and she's a little shy. It's okay. And again, it's pretty big. It's a little bigger than a baseball, but about this big around. And since it's so close to the jugular vein, we really can't remove those safely standing. So general anesthesia again is required to remove that.
And both of these girls on the left are Andalusians, so if you guys have ever wanted an Andalusian in your collection, your two beautiful ones. Valentina has the traditional Andy crop that she came in with that's growing out, and then Anastacia has obviously the natural dew.
Yeah, and she's got them behind her tail too, and kind of around the anus area. So again, those could be removed standing. It's just the big one that we would worry about, and usually they get those kind of later in the stages of dealing with melanoma.
Are these over here on her too?
With her, yeah, she could very well have some melanomas up here also, and she does as well, but she also has under her jaw. And then Casper here just has a bunch of little ones kind of on his tail head and the underside of his tail and around his anus that most likely can be removed standing. His are kind of early on, so he'd probably do very well just with standing removal, and you know, you'd have to keep an eye on him afterwards and get any new ones that arose taken care of as they came along.
And he's a former little hunter pony. I actually knew him several years ago before he came here. He belonged to an old neighbor of mine, and he was a really cute little hunter riding horse, so we hope to get him back to work and get him some help. So if you'd like to make a contribution to Casper's removal, again, you can do so via PayPal Secret Fund at highcaliber.org, or you can visit www.highcaliber.org/secretfund for more information. And, you know, it's not that we're trying to be mean and not getting these guys care. It's a really great area. You know, it's not bad enough to where we want to euthanize them, obviously, but it's also, you know, we just can't dump thousands and thousands of dollars into horses who have you know, clearly aggressively progressing cancer. We wish we could. We just don't have that yet. Maybe one day we will, but for right now we don't, and the best that we can offer these guys is a soft landing with the final home, and we rely on our adoption partners to help us determine that. So if you want to take these guys for just, you know, one or the other of them for even just 3 months and give them an incredibly saturated, loving end and then let them go, we completely support you with that. If you want to give them years, we support you with that. You know, the best that we can offer them is a soft landing and, you know, keeping them off of a trip to slaughter. So if you guys are interested, email adoptions@highcaliber.org for either of these girls. Again, they are Andalusians, and they're both very sweet. The one in the middle there, or in this shot on the right, is vision impaired, so please be prepared to deal with that. And Valentina, if you like a big, giant, tall glass of water. How tall are you, Sickney? Like 5'10"?
5'8".
No way, you're taller than that.
I'm wearing boots.
Yeah, you need to measure yourself again. You're not that short, girl. But Valentina is huge, so. Alright, well, let us know. Adoptions@highcaliber.org for these ones, and PayPal Secret Fund at highcaliber.org for Casper.